Hey there guys, Raj here back again with a fragrance review on a fragrance from the house of Valentino. Quite a high-end fashion brand. Are we going to get a fragrance that kind of lives up to the expectation of this brand? This one is a flanker, and this one I am reviewing is called Uomo Intense. It's the Eau de Parfum version. There used to be just normal Valentino Uomo, which means man in Italian, a fragrance I used to own. Just one thing quickly, I like the fact that an Italian brand is using the word for man in its fragrance. Some brands go with sticking with this tradition, or maybe I don't know what you would call it, but going with the French name when the brand has got nothing to do with France or anything like that. So yeah, I like that. It's a small point, but I appreciate it. So yeah, I used to have the original fragrance, and I thought it was really good. I really liked the bottle design. I liked the notes. It did smell similar to Dior Homme. That's something I'm going to mention a little bit later on. And I appreciated what they did. I was actually thinking that Valentino were going to come up with a darker version of this. So I was looking forward to seeing what they were going to do. It didn't quite go the way I was thinking, but I still really think this is a great fragrance. So yeah, in terms of the notes, top notes are Clary sage and Mandarin, heart notes of iris and tonka bean, base notes of leather and vanilla. Seems like quite a nice cozy fragrance. It's got a touch of sweetness to it, but it's got a refined elegance about it that I like, which kind of lends itself, I think, to more formal occasions. I don't really think this would be a work type fragrance. It feels like something you would wear when you're going on maybe a date. Maybe you're just meeting up with with some friends at the bar, or maybe you're going for a dinner somewhere. A formal event. Maybe you're wearing a suit. I think it would work. It doesn't feel like a casual fragrance to me. I think maybe the original could be casual, maybe. But overall, I think this whole Uomo line is more on the formal side, just the way I think. In terms of seasons, I don't see any reason why you couldn't wear this in all four seasons. Definitely not. I personally think it would be better to be worn in cooler or colder weather. Spring, autumn seems like the perfect the perfect season to wear, or fall. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I get a good longevity out of this fragrance. It doesn't shout off my skin, but I actually don't want this particular type of fragrance to shout off my skin. It's got sweet elements in there, which sometimes when sweeter fragrances become too much, they get a little bit sickly sweet, a little bit annoying. But I think there are other ingredients in here which kind of anchor that sweetness and make it overall quite a fragrance that I feel has quite a luxurious feel to it. So yeah, what do I get out of this fragrance? What do I think about it? Well, yeah, definitely comparisons to Dior Homme. And Dior is a brand that I love, and they use great ingredients. But the original Dior Homme is not a fragrance that I ever owned. I had a decant. It just somehow fell a little bit flat on my skin. This one is kind of this is going really nicely on my skin. In the opening, well, you're right into the sweetness, to be honest. You do get this cloudy, violet-like kind of irisy smell, which is nice and nicely mixed in with some creamy notes in there, maybe coming from some woody notes in here. There are no wood notes in the note breakdown, but it does feel like a creamy sandalwood effect with a beautiful vanilla scent. It does feel like a vanilla that you might smell in a slightly... I don't want to knock it, but it does smell like a vanilla you might smell in a slightly cheaper candle, but not in a bad way. It doesn't go... It doesn't smell cheap, or it doesn't smell, like bad quality. It smells good, but there are better vanillas I've smelled out there, more authentic, but it's nicely blended. It does feel quite refined. It does feel quite elegant. I think it's a great fragrance. I don't really get any of this Clary sage or Mandarin that is supposedly in the opening, and honestly, I don't really get they're talking about leather in here. They're saying it's supposed to be quite a big note. Just reading a description I just read now. I don't really get much a leather in this fragrance? Not really. I mean, interpretations of leathers by perfumers or by the people who make the ingredients for the perfumers can be different. So, you know, there is something slightly sweet in here, which could be a leathery type note in there. It's quite a linear fragrance actually on my skin, which I don't mind. There are some spicy elements in there, which was difficult to detect, but it felt like something that you would use in baking. So maybe a cinnamon note, but maybe I'm just imagining it. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying too hard to dissect the fragrance. This was one of those where I sprayed on, I just let it do its thing, just enjoyed it for what it was. Nothing particularly complex, just a couple of really good notes put together, and sometimes that's all you need. I got some good feedback on this fragrance. I mean, I had a small sample, so I got one compliment. But, you know, I think it is definitely a fragrance that it was going to be well received by a lot of people. Yeah, you know, it's overall, I think it's definitely worth checking out, and it's good to see another really good designer fragrance. Sometimes some of these designer releases, I don't know what they're thinking. There's no effort involved, but there are many good ones. You just have to seek them out. Yeah, and I kind of feel like there's been a lot of really good designer releases recently. I don't know whether that's just me and I'm just trying some really great ones, or maybe there is some truth to that. I need to look into it. I don't know. So yeah, guys, I'm going to give this a rating of, I'm going to go high. I think it deserves a high score. I'm going to go with 8 out of 10. Nothing outstanding, but I think it's a solid fragrance. If you can get this at full retail price, I would go for it. If you can get it for cheaper, you know, even better. Definitely worth having a look at, I think. So guys, let me know, what do you think? Comparisons to Dior Homme, yes, no, better, worse, what do you think? Do you prefer this to the original? It didn't smell that different to the original, to be honest, and I didn't feel like it went off on a darker route that I would have liked it to have gone, with maybe a little bit more spice, the leather to be more noticeable on my skin, but it did feel slightly sweeter in some ways than the original, but you could do well with both of them. If it was up to me to buy a bottle, I would go with the intense version. So yeah, a decent score, I think. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Hit the like on my Facebook page. Hit the like here if you liked what you saw, and subscribe if you're interested in seeing more fragrance reviews and all different types of videos. Take care. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.